Recording. Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, and welcome to the Blurring the Lines podcast. This is episode number 239. I am your host, Adam Bell, and joining me from lands far, far away is my friend Peter Nikolaidis. It looks like
Hi.
you're right where I saw you last.
It does look like that, but no, I'm not that far away. I'm only 2 time zones away from you right now.
Just one.
One time zones away. Yes, sorry. Oh man, yeah, I keep forgetting Mountain Time, Central Time, Eastern, all the time. But it doesn't matter. It's podcast time, and that's
It's
what's
podcast time. There you go.
So, yeah, it's been a while. We're back on the monthly schedule again here because work and travel and all those other things that happen to adults.
Yeah. Well, good news is, we will have 3 weeks in a row of podcast releases. We recorded 2 while you were gone, and then we're going to release, one's going to release today and next week, and this one will, right on the tail of those.
And we can maybe record one in person next week too.
Yes. That's
from a brewery. So dear listener, if you haven't put it together, I'll be traveling to Nashville next week. So, which I think it's I'm due, right? Because you were in Boston last time we saw each other.
Yep, I guess it's your turn. I mean,
it's my turn.
You might argue that I owe you a little bit more because you did go to the Bahamas to meet with me. I only went to Boston.
And when we were in that marketing group together, I did make several more trips to Nashville.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I think I've got a few banked. So when are you coming back?
Soon.
Excellent. All right. So why did you catch us up? What's going on from your side?
Well, from my side, not nearly as interesting as yours. This is my slow travel time right now. So it's a get back in shape and lose weight kind of time for me.
I weighed myself this morning and I was like 2 kilograms higher. Why am I asking? You might think, why are you measuring yourself in kilograms, Peter? Is that because you spent all that time in Germany and they're all on the metric system? No, it's because my Withings smart body meter sometime in the last couple of months just decided to measure itself in kilograms. And I can't find any way in the app to test it. And I didn't feel like just resetting it all, but anyway, it has me a couple of kilograms higher than normal, and I don't really care.
Yeah,
because I have approximately, at the time of this recording, I don't know when you're listening to this, dear listener, probably it will have happened by now, but at the time of this recording, I have 14 days, 13 hours, 55 minutes, and 27 seconds before my 50-mile race.
Yes.
Those kilograms are just going to fly right off.
Yeah. You need a couple extra pounds of fat to sustain you.
I'll be okay. Yeah.
No, I've been, as far as workouts, so I've really engaged with making sure that I'm getting enough protein.
Yep. And
then I also am doing a cycle of creatine, and that causes you to retain water by default, and you end up being heavier. So I'm not going to measure my weight and now it's normally about a 4 to 6 week cycle.
Yep.
So now I'm cycling off. So I'm anticipating my weight going back down. Yep. But the good thing is my strength has gone up, which it should while you're on creatine.
Okay.
So my strength has gone up, and it's really built for muscle mass growth, and I haven't been very dedicated over the last 2 years, so I've lost muscle mass, and I'm just trying to get a little bit back. I mean, I'm still bigger than most people because I spent my 20s and 30s bodybuilding, but
gotcha. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep up enough, mostly on the top side, mostly enough muscle mass that I don't look like a scrawny little runner. so, so yeah, it's and it's challenging. That the bad news is that I've hurt myself again. The
Uh,
good and the other potentially bad news is that it happened while running. But the good news is it hopefully is not going to affect my race. Why, you ask? Well, I hurt my wrist.
so how did you fall down?
That's what everybody suspects. And no, I did not.
Did you punch somebody?
I hope, even though I haven't been in the Krav Maga studio regularly for a few years, I hope I know how to punch somebody in such a way that I would not hurt myself. So no, that wasn't it either.
Okay.
I was running and I was using poles, and I got some bad advice, which was, oh, well, when you're actually using the poles, you don't grip them when you're actually planting down. You let the strap that holds you to the thing do all the work.
Right.
I don't think you're supposed to let it do all the work. And also, and I was experimenting, but also my right knee was acting up a little bit, so I was favoring that. And so if your right knee hurts, that means your left pole is doing more work because you cross plant. I just overdid it, and I appear to have given myself tendonitis in the left wrist. So I've been doing alternate ice and hot treatments. I'm wearing a brace just to keep it immobilized, and it's fine. It doesn't hurt, but it's I'll be running the hilliest part of the course tomorrow, carrying but not using poles, just to see how it goes. I don't think I need them. It's more of a security blanket, more of a crutch, really, literally. But I do intend to carry them with me just in case, like if I need them, there was one time early this year, I was just getting back into running. It was a 9-mile run, and about a little over halfway out, both of my legs just hurt like crazy. And if I had not had the poles, I was like limping home, carrying myself back on the poles the whole way for miles. If I had not had them, I would have been stuck out in the middle of the, nowhere in Vermont. So I want to have them just in case, but hopefully I won't need them. So tomorrow my plan is it's only an hour and a half run, which I think is just enough time for me to press the up, because it starts out, the steepest part of the trail is right at the beginning. And it's basically uphill for about 1.5 miles and downhill for about 1.5 miles.
Okay.
So my plan is to just run that up and down, come back, and then hopefully not need the poles, and everything will be fine. And then, it's almost 15 days plus or minus until the race. So hopefully that'll be enough for the wrist to get back into shape anyway.
Yeah. Well, and I've used poles for when I've been hiking, and my experience with them is when I'm using them, I kind of use the strap and grip. Like I loosen my grip. I'm not letting it do all the work, but I'm letting it assist me. And
and I think that's the thing too. It's like I got some advice from a coach, and I think he was just, sometimes the advice I got was a little terse, and I think he sort of just assumes that I knew, would fill in some blanks sometimes. So I think this was probably one of those cases. So I'm going to go back, I don't want to have it in a death grip and white knuckle.
Yeah.
But I have proven that not using the hands at all is not good.
Yeah. We hiked Mount LeConte, and I like to practically run down the hill because Mount LeConte is uphill all the way. There's very few flat spots, and there's very few dips where you're doing you're going up the mountain, but you do the opposite because you're like going over a ridge and then down a ridge. So there's only like really one spot of that. But on the way down, it's almost 90% downhill, and I'll go fast. I feel like it's easier on my knees. But those poles are critical for moving fast, because you slip, and
that's the thing. It's like, when I did my 50K, 3 years ago now, man, time flies. No, wait, it was 2020. Yeah. I can't even count anymore. Yeah, 2022, 3 years ago. I remember I was running downhills like fast, like my peak speed. And I got to a point where luckily the trail was clear enough that I wasn't worried about tripping and stuff. And I was flying, but I got to this point where I was starting to get ahead of myself and like my legs couldn't catch up.
Yeah.
And I had to, like very consciously, carefully start to slow myself down, or I was going to do a face plant downhill at full speed.
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore.
No.
So I let gravity help me out, but I don't, I don't let it, let's say we have a cooperative relationship. Put it that way.
Yeah. Well, cool. So, all right. As far as, I guess there's no rehab or anything. You just take it easy on your wrist.
Pretty much. It's a rest thing.
Yeah. Okay. Oop, you muted. You're still muted. Well, I'll just talk while you try to unmute yourself. So one of the things that I wanted to just kind of share as an observation, because Adobe and Google, they listen to our podcast, and so maybe they'll get a little they'll do something about it. So one of the things so I use Adobe Audition to edit the podcast. I heard you.
Yes, I'm unmuted. I figured it out.
So I use Adobe Audition for my editing of the software, and I record our video that we're doing right now with Google Meet, and then it stores it in Google Drive. So then I go into Adobe Audition and open Google Drive to download the file. Well, I buffer everything. So meaning I don't download every file. When I access it, it downloads it then. But it's gotten me a couple times where I'll go into Adobe Audition, open up the Drive file, which it downloads into Adobe Audition, but it's not all there. It gets like 90% in, and the tail end of it is just not there. If I close the file and reopen it, it's all there. So it opened it up before it had completed the download, because the MP3 technology has the ability to read it while it's still downloading, but it like snapshots it. So that's what's happening in Adobe Audition. So I just need to make sure that I open the file every time before I open it in Audition, because what's a bummer is I've made edits, like I clean up the front of it. If we're and goofing around at the beginning, I cut those out so that it sounds somewhat.
Does Audition do that for you, or you have to do that manually?
I do it manually.
Okay, but the ums and the ahs.
Oh no, those just go. But like at the beginning when we're chatting, and sometimes we'll repeat each other, and I'm like, we kind of sound dumb when we do that. So I cut those little pieces out. But it's a bummer when I do that and then I have to do it all over again. But it's twice as fast.
Well, there you go.
But it got done twice. So, but that's just a Adobe Audition info for anybody who cares.
Excellent. Good to know. Yeah, if you're using Adobe Audition, I'm sure you can benefit from Adam's wisdom there. So.
All right. So I see you have notes for brownies. Are you talking about the little wood brownies, or like what you find in the forest, or?
Yeah, the little sprites, the little pixies
sprite,
there. Yeah, those. Yes, I found a bunch living in my oven. And, no,
turned it on, and they were tasty.
They were delicious little things. I don't remember exactly where it found, but my YouTube. So lately, my YouTube algorithm, like a week or two ago, it was bombarded with financial planners who are saying, with the clickbait headline, like, I'm 60 and have $1.2 million. Can I retire? Or, like, should I retire at age 57 with $1.2 million? And, it's always in that range or so. And previous to that, it was like, oh, well, if you're a runner over the age of 50, you need to be doing these things. And, but also, like different recipes, alternative recipes, and one of them that slipped in was black bean brownies.
Black bean brownies. Okay.
So the base of it is a can of black beans, as opposed to, say, flour or oats or whatever you might use as the base. And it caught me at just the perfect time, because I was boiling a pot of water. I was going to make myself a bowl of pasta. And, it's like this recipe comes up, and I'm watching it and looking at it, and I'm like, oh, that's starting to get better and better.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I think, okay. And I turned the water off, and I was like, I have all these ingredients. I didn't have all of them, but I had substitutes, approximations.
Right.
So, excuse me. I'm not muting myself, because the last time I did, I couldn't unmute. So the main ingredient, like I said, it's black beans. And then the guy who did it, his recipe calls for almond butter and almond flour. Instead of that, I use, lately I use powdered peanuts, not peanut flour, but peanut powder. I use that as a substitute for both. I've been using a brand called PB2 or PB Fit. And I've been using that mostly like for my protein shakes for a long time now. So I was like, well, I'll just substitute that. And so I put a link to the episode in the show notes. But it's the usual suspects: a little baking soda, baking powder, vanilla. What am I missing?
Cocoa?
Yes, cocoa powder. Thank you. And chocolate chips. Right. So the way I've been making it now is essentially following this guy's recipe. Oh, he also calls for half a cup of maple syrup. And sometimes I use maple syrup, sometimes I'll use sugar and water, or a simple syrup. But since there is some sugar, not a lot, but there's some sugar in the PB Fit as well, in the peanut butter powder, I cut the sugar by half, and they are still plenty sweet. So I might even back off just a tiny bit more next time. But and then flax seeds, chopped up flax seed is the last bit. And essentially you put all of it into the blender and bake it. That's the recipe. It's like super easy, So I've made at least 3 batches right now.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I shared some with my neighbor because I was eating them constantly. But then another day or two went by. I was like, I want another batch. So I made another batch, and I've been eating my way through it. It's kind of funny because I'm getting my serving of beans through Brownies, because it makes nine brownies, right? And a can of beans has about 3.5 servings of beans. So I get daily, if I eat 3 brownies a day, I get that. I also get a lot of peanut butter and, a lot of carbs, et cetera. So, but anyway, highly recommend this recipe. Like I said, I modified mine a little bit just with, the PB2 peanut butter powder instead. But it's pretty good stuff.
Do the beans still maintain whatever qualities that give some people gas?
The biggest thing you can do to make beans less gassy is just rinse them.
Just rinse them?
If you rinse them off first, then they generally won't have that effect, not nearly as much. And the recipe calls for starting off by, you rinse them off.
Okay. Well, it's not typically a problem for me. I mean, I know some people are like really affected, but doesn't really bother me.
Yep.
So it's funny, you mentioned, things on YouTube and Facebook that come up. I'm getting all kinds of things about your liver health after 50. Are you getting those?
No, I haven't gotten that. And this was like it was a few years at this point. One of the things that prompted me to just finally pay for YouTube Premium. Like I can't imagine going back to it now and seeing the ads on YouTube. But it was just constantly, if you're a man over 40, your testosterone levels are going to, you're going to be a woman before you know it. You'll get it. And these ads were so obnoxious.
Yeah.
It's like you'll be watching something in the middle of it, and in the middle of that, and the placement is completely terrible, right? And it's like, so here I am watching a funny cat, and then suddenly this guy with no shirt and ripped abs is yelling at me. I was just like, go jump in a brook. I don't have to listen to you. So
Yeah.
but no, it's funny though to see how how things change, and it's like you just watch a couple of them, it's like, oh, you must really like this, here's a lot more.
Yeah.
And if you need any evidence whatsoever of how people get sucked into conspiracy theories and radical political beliefs, it's right there. It's living proof.
Consumerism algorithm does the same thing.
Buy more.
Yeah, buy more. Whatever crazy you're looking for, you can buy some more.
We have it. Have you refreshed any of your Apple technology given the latest releases?
No, I know that the new AirPods are out.
Yep.
And the new Apple Watch is it out now?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm interested in that, but I have not done it yet.
Okay.
And
go ahead.
There is also a new iPad, right? But it's not a Pro.
I don't know if the new iPad was announced yet. Those usually, I think, come off cycle, but the new iPhone is definitely out.
Yeah, the 17.
17 is out, yeah. So 17, AirPods Pro 3, and Apple Watch Series 11, Apple Watch Ultra 3, and Apple Watch SE 3rd generation. And I had the SE, and I returned it because for around the same price, I could get a Series 10 with a bigger screen.
Yeah.
And actually, it has another function. I forget. There's something else that was missing. One thing that was missing from the SE that they had. So I decided to get brand new, just not the current generation, Series 10 instead. And it's okay, but I messaged listener and fan of the show Scott Wilsley this morning. It's like I slept last night with my Garmin, and this morning I kind of didn't want to take it off and go back to the Apple. It's like I've gotten used to it, right? And I'm not actually taking advantage of all the features that I was missing when I had weaned myself off of the Apple ecosystem, off the Apple Watch when I was going back to the Garmin. So for now, I'm still ping-ponging between the two.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because I would like the SOS communication on the new one. That one's a new and do you get SOS text on it all the time?
No, I'm pretty sure that one's I'm actually not 100% sure. I thought it was just emergency SOS. I'm not 100% sure about that though, because I wasn't paying a lot of attention to it because I was like, I'm giving up on the Apple Watch Ultra. It's just not Ultra enough for me. So
yeah, I may have to do a little bit of research because I've still got my Ultra, but mine's an Ultra, the first edition Ultra, because there wasn't a big enough jump between 1 and 2 for me to warrant the change. But one of the things that has been my complaint all along is how janky Audible is on the Apple Watch. And of course that could be Apple, that could be Amazon. I don't know which one is the problem, but one of them is the problem, in that I figured out that if I download the entire book to the watch and I only use the watch to listen to the book, then I have a lot more success. Until recently, something changed, and I understand licensing. So, those Audible they've got to check in to make sure, one, that you're still licensed to have that book and that you own it.
Yep.
Well, I buy my books. I don't, they're not a library book. It's not a Amazon special where it's, you listen to this between now and this, no, I've bought the book. So it checked in. But sometimes lately when I leave the house, I have the entire book downloaded, but it wants to check in to see if I have bought this book, and it can't because I only wore my watch.
Maybe something changed. Maybe you unbought this book while we weren't looking, and you're trying to screw us out of our 5 cents or whatnot.
Yeah, between it just really annoys me, and I have not tried Apple's audiobooks to see if it's would be better with them. The problem is I have over 300 titles in my Audible because I've had it for well over a decade. Sure. And you add three a month, that adds up pretty quickly.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing saying you can't have both.
Yeah.
Right. But I go through that though too. Is like I generally like to have my stuff in one place so I don't have to remember where did I put this, where did I put that. And I still haven't completely moved all my stuff out of Evernote into Notion. So, it's about like once a month or something, I have to dig back into Evernote and find some document that never fully migrated over and dig. And now, Scott and I, because we collaborate with stuff in Notion, and he doesn't really like it. And I'm like, I've never really been a huge fan of it myself. It just, they said that they would, import all my Evernote stuff, and I wanted to give it a fair shot. So I started using it. And then I was like, well, I can't possibly turn back to anything else now because I have like a month of stuff in Notion. So I can't possibly go back to Evernote where I have the past, 18 years of stuff. And, now it's 2 years or whatever later, and I've got all this garbage in Notion that, so it's like, I really, listener, if you've got a great solution, an alternative to Evernote and Notion where I can reliably import all the data from both of them, let us know.
Yeah, and the Apple Watch, we talked recently, and I canceled my cellular subscription on the Apple Watch, and I'm seriously considering reactivating it because I want it to be able to check Audible for the book when because it's just got to check in. If it checks in, then it's good. But I don't know that I want to spend. I mean, it's $120 a year, but it may be worth it just not to have the hassle.
Yeah. Well, and on that note, like Scott and I were just having this discussion earlier today. He has an iPhone. I think he's got the 16 also. I think he has a 16 Pro, or I forget which. But anyway, his phone has a 256 gigs of storage. Mine has 128. My previous iPhone Pro 14 Pro also had 128, and it was fine. It was never a problem. So I was like, all right, when I get the 16, I'll just go 128 because I had enough to spare. Well, I think somewhere along the lines, the iOS has taken up a little more space, and now routinely I'm being told, oh, you don't have enough space. You don't have enough space. So, and I've checked it so that like music and photos are supposed to auto offload to make up space. Right. But it wasn't helping. And, constantly, like last night, I was in the parking garage and I tried to take a photo of where I parked so that I, oh, look, I was in spot D38. Great. Wonderful. Sorry, you can't take a picture right now. There's not enough room to take a photo. Like, really? Wow. So I was like, all right, that's ridiculous. And so as I always do, I just uninstalled Overcast, my podcatcher, because it's taking up 6 to 7 gigs of space. So I went back today and I revisited my settings. Both, music and photos are set to manage storage and optimize it. I don't think that means what they think it means. But I also made the default behavior in Overcast to download podcasts manually. And we're going to see how that works. Yeah. Because the thing is, what I know it's going to infuriate me, and it really shouldn't be a big deal, but there's going to be like one episode of something. Oh, I want to listen to this. It hasn't downloaded yet. I'm going to get in the car. I'm going to hit play. Overcast is going to start downloading it. It's not going to be fast enough. It's going to say, well, you're at the end of the episode, and it's gone.
Yeah.
And I'll be in the car, so I can't do anything about it. And, like that's what I want to avoid.
Yeah.
So I've gone through and preloaded a few podcasts that I definitely want, like ones that I listen to every day and that come and go and stuff. Like those I set to automatically, but I set everything else to manually. And right now I'm operating with around, last I checked, I had about 10 gigs of free space. So right now I've got almost 12 and a half. So hopefully that will stay. This trend will keep.
Yeah. Well, I looked at I get the terabyte, and on my phone I've got 852 gig free.
Yeah, I mean that's the way to do it, but that also seems like seems to me a little wasteful.
Little underutilized. And I have, I only have 295 songs, but I have 399 videos and 9,333 photos.
Mm-hmm.
I have 233 applications.
But you don't need all those photos on the phone, right? I mean, like for me, as far as I'm concerned, anything that's older than a week, why is it on my phone? Right. Mm-hmm. And it seems to me like whenever I do want some photo that's a little older, it takes me time to download it. But whenever I'm running out of space, it's like, oh yeah, we got stuff from 5 years ago. It's right here. I'm like, I don't want it. Why do you have it here? Anyway. What else you got?
Let's see here. I think that's all the interesting things that I had. You had a couple maybe nifties.
I don't know really. I did have another update though. So in addition to the Apple Watch Series 10 that I bought, I did buy the AirPods Pro 3.
Oh, you did?
And I returned them. 2 reasons. One, they did not fit me as well. They were coming out. Yes. Now, full disclosure, I have been rocking Comply foam tips on my AirPods Pros 2 for years now. Because the foam tips stay in my ears. Like I'll go for a run and maybe every hour or two, I have to just give it a little tug and make sure it stays in snug.
Yeah.
These other things I was having to adjust constantly. And if I chew any food with them, they'd fall out of my ears.
And you couldn't put different tips on them?
No one has made them yet.
Oh, it's too soon. They changed that much?
Oh yeah. Oh, they're completely different. Someone on Etsy, I think they must have 3D printed them. Someone sold adapters. So they made a little plastic adapter for your AirPods Pro 1 and 2 tips. But I was like, that's dumb. That's janky. Not doing that. Oh. So now I would have normally just held on to them and kept them as a second pair and waited for someone to make foam tips. But they also were buggy. They were constantly, it was acting like there was like some Bluetooth interference or something. Because I would like be in the middle of listening to something or anything, and all of a sudden the transmission, whatever I was listening to, would get completely garbled, and it kept on happening. And I was complaining to Scott about it. He's like, "That doesn't sound right. That sounds like they're defective." I was like, actually, you're right. It does sound like they're defective. Yeah. So I took them back, but I learned the lesson. I took them back. I was like, "Look, these are defective," and they're like, "Okay, no problem." So I bought the Apple Watch SE, and I took that to back. But since there was nothing wrong with it, I had to pay a $45 restocking fee.
Well,
sometimes being honest sucks. I paid $45 for being honest. I could have said, "Oh yeah, the damn thing doesn't work," and they would have just taken it back.
Well, it's talking about earbuds. So this. I have, we both had Jabras there for a while.
Yes.
So I have Jabra 65 plus. Okay. And, bought those years and years ago. I think the very first pair I paid like $140 for them. And then I was looking at getting a second pair because the batteries aren't that great. They go 2 or 3 hours and they're dependent. you can't go individual. So
I
was like,
remember that because I had the 65s as well. And I ran my first marathon with them. And I remember it was about 3.5, 4 hours in, they died.
Yeah, they're dead.
And you had to wear the right one. You can't wear just the left. I remember that. Yeah.
So I bought I looked at getting the latest version, but Amazon had a refurb price for like $79, like $69 for refurb. I'm like, all right, well, I'll just get the refurb. I mean, I like these. They know they fit. I don't want to go through all the change of getting new earbuds, of trying to find the right size or anything. So these work. So I got the refurb. Well, last time I was down at the farm, I forgot a pair of them in my pants and I washed them.
Oh.
So I thought maybe after washing and drying that the electronics might still work, but they did not. So, I mean, they didn't even fire up. So I just threw them away and I went on Amazon. I was like, okay, well, I'll get the latest version of Jabra. And I was like, well, let me just look and see if there's still a refurb market on this. And I got the same thing for $29 this time on refurb. And I was like, I know the latest version is really, I mean, they're expensive too. The latest version of Jabra is trying to compete with iPod Pro and they're $350.
Right.
And I was like, well, I'm not going to if I'm going to buy something so expensive, I'm going to get iPods. I mean, or the earpods.
Yep.
AirPods. My goodness. But yeah, so I got them for $29 and, if they get me 2 or 3 hours. So now I've got 2 of them. So if I'm mowing, by the time one dies, I can put the other ones in and they'll charge up and be ready to go.
One down.
Yeah. But I can't wear my AirPods. Well, one, I don't like wearing my AirPods while I'm doing like a tractor. Like I'm riding a tractor, there's a lot of vibration that happens, and I could easily have that thing just pop out of my ear, gone. I'll never find it, or I'll crush it. I mean, I suppose I could find it with the phone, but if it gets crushed, it's gone, and it just doesn't seat as deeply in my ear as those Jabras do, even though, and they just kind of seal in there. I don't know. It's all about the ear canal.
Yeah, and again, that's the thing is with the silicone tips that come with the Apple. They've never stayed in great, but it's just when I put a foam tips, it's huge. And I was hoping that since the AirPod Pros 3, they're foam under silicone, that they would be better. And they're better, but not good enough. So, but we'll see. I'm waiting for Black Friday, and I'll see if there are sales then, and then I'll probably dive back into them at that point.
Yeah.
So, all right, we should probably wrap things up, and I don't know when this episode is going to drop. Are you going to drop this one out of sequence and let it go early, or is this one going to be in the queue?
It'll be 2 weeks from now.
A couple of weeks from now. Okay. Well, by then, I hope, America, if you love your country and you appreciate this little thing that we have had in our world for as long as any of us listeners have been alive, called democracy, and you have half a clue that you will be out or will have been out on October 18th protesting at a No Kings rally. These are words that even 5 years ago, I don't think I could have ever imagined myself saying. So you, listener, get off your ass and stand up for your rights, because no one else is going to do it for you. I'm going to get off my soapbox now. And with that, I think we should start taking us out. So if you want to find us, dear listener, you already have, but you can do it again at blurringthelinespodcast.com. You can find Adam over at rrlavenderfarm.com. I tried to make it rhyme there. rrlavenderfarm.com. You can find me at peternikoladis.com. I actually posted a couple of things to Mastodon and Blue Sky because, there you go. I was bored, I guess.
Yeah.
So, every now and then I'm there. I'm at Peter Nikolaidis on Blue Sky. And yeah, I think with that, we should just go ahead and push that big red button.
Big red button.